Hello and welcome to Screen Views. I'm Dave.
I'm James.
And this is the weekly podcast where we give our views on a film and TV show.
Each episode is unscripted, unedited, so anything can happen. Listeners should be aware that we do include spoilers, so feel free to fast forward, rewind, or simply buckle up and enjoy a somewhat coherent conversation.
Our podcast is based on the idea that there's no such thing as a bad movie. Therefore, for every review, we'll give a recommendation instead of a rating.
But first up, we're going to have a quick discussion about what we talked about last week to see if our opinions have changed. Hello. Hello, you alright?
Oh,
how you doing,
hello.
guys? We're back
Hello.
again.
Hello.
With vengeance. Episode 11. And yeah, it's been a bright, happy week.
It's been a journey to this point as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last week we watched I Feel Pretty. And,
We did.
Yeah, and I think we gave a good review. So we never said it was amazing, but we said that a lot of things about it which we really liked. And and I feel like it may have been pushed under the rug, especially with the two big movies coming out and a third big movie coming out next week. So,
it's slip under the radar a little bit.
Although we did bump into some friends at cinema and they were going to watch it. There were 3 people, so at least 3 more people watched it this week, which is good.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a good alternative. I wonder if they have chosen the time deliberately to give an alternative for people to go and watch something that's not a superhero film, basically.
Yeah.
Because when you've got superhero film, or feel-good comedy, that might be your go-to.
I've been looking at a lot of reviews for this movie, and I feel like there's a lot of negativity towards it, like a lot of negativity.
Yeah,
a
which
lot of,
I sort of referenced in last week in
yeah.
terms of some of the reviews that it's getting. And to be honest, like we're sort of thinking about how our opinions change. Well, my opinion sort of fluctuates with this film, like day to day. Like, I'm just like, is it good for feminism? Is it not? Like,
yeah.
But I think as a movie or a film, as we're meant to say in the UK apparently. So as a movie, it's got a lot of. I think it's got a lot going for it, and that may, like you say, might go under the radar.
I enjoyed it. I will see it again, probably when it's on Netflix. I think I might watch it again. We'll go to cinema to watch it again.
What did you discover from the reviews? Sorry, I jumped in there.
Just that a lot of people were just a lot of the reviews aren't even talking about the film. They're talking about what they feel the film is saying. They've talked about the overall feeling of the film and how it's wrong, rather than actually reviewing the film itself. Because the film itself has a variety of stages, and even if I get into the mindset of a lot of these reviewers, I still can't hate the whole film. Yeah. Because of you can't hate the whole film because of the journey she goes through. Like, I can actually, in my mind, I can separate the character into 4 different sort of characteristics of her, like 4 different versions of her going through the movie. So they could, you can hate a characteristic of it, but you can't hate somebody who feels down on themselves, or feels who feels like not confident, and then you can't hate somebody who all of a sudden feels confident. And I find it really hard to relate to the level of hate.
Well, like that, that. I mean,
eating your fingers.
Yeah, just like what are you doing? No, and I think what you're touching on there is what I think the film is about. Like, the film is about body image, but it's also about how body image is perceived when somebody is feeling more confident than they were, the day before, or the week before, and how someone can become sexy through confidence, and and it's sort of like you always get that thing. Oh, I don't know if you always get that, but I know growing up, like there was always this sort of thing that I couldn't understand around well, like, why does a guy have to be confident for a girl to sort of, be attracted to them, and like, why do you have to be that sort of person? But it's like as I've sort of got older and grown a bit, like you sort of think, oh, okay, I kind of get where that's coming from now, and this film sort of, in lots of ways, I think embodies that, where you're sort of thinking, well, okay, it's if someone is confident and they do put themselves out there and they do have fun, that's something that people will respond to in a positive way as well, and that will just spread. And so I think I do fluctuate. I'm not saying yes, it's great for feminism, but I think I always sort of end up at this same place around body image and confidence in terms of the themes, and like you say, and that in itself is again ignoring the fact that it is a film and it's there for entertainment, and we watched it and we were entertained, and so it's it's done its job in that sense, which is always a good thing, I think.
So I think that's good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Should
we can move on to this week's movie.
Yeah. Your favourite?
Yeah.
Or Deathpond?
Yeah, I can't say no. We can't say we were going to watch Deathpond, and no one knew what I was on about. It's like Deadpool's playing words, but
it's like you literally flogged that joke.
Yeah, I literally
to death or dead.
Yeah.
Which is it? Is it dead or death? That joke.
The departed life. I'm just gonna. This is just gone.
Deceased.
Just gone. Yeah.
Expired.
Yeah.
Expired tank.
Yeah.
Would that work? Expired tank.
Expired tank.
A tank.
Yeah.
Pool of water tank.
Or sort of like it's an anagram of Paul rather than. Oh yeah. Actually, yeah. No. Yeah. I don't know. But anyway, moving on from that rubbish joke.
Onto the actual film.
Yeah, onto the actual film. What do you think of it?
Do I need to go first?
I could go first.
I'm just
no.
I okay. I'll go first. Because I have a feeling I know how you feel about this film.
Okay.
I have a feeling. I could be wrong.
You could be wrong. Yeah.
So Deadpool. What I suppose we. It's one of those things that I was just going to dive straight into the review, but how can we describe Deadpool for somebody who's doesn't know about Deadpool?
It is. It has the tones of. It's definitely a tone of a superhero movie, but also has a tone of sort of like a sitcom, sort of like
satire,
familiar sort of like sitcom, satire, sort of like a feel to it, and it's just easy watching, very popcorny. You don't really need to get your head around certain stuff. You don't really need to get involved that much. It's just really easy watching in terms of like that's how I describe Deadpool 1. It's sort of like a Deadpool as a genre. Yeah.
Okay. And it's part of the Marvel universe, but this is X-Men.
Yeah.
So slightly different in terms of what kind of superheroes you're going to see, because it's mutants and not.
It's good if you're caught up with like if you know about the superhero world in general, but it's not important. It's not like dramatically.
Yeah. And also, because there's a lot in. You don't have to appreciate those things to appreciate the jokes, because a lot of the jokes are like pop culture references, I guess.
Yeah, well, superhero movies have become so pop culture and sort of like.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to miss them. Yeah. So, and he's a character that can't die, basically.
Yeah, can't die. He's basically all his abilities are enhanced. So he's super fast and not super fast, but he's just stronger than the average human being, and he has the power to regenerate. And he's got cancer, but this power, this sort of like this healing ability is stopping him from dying, and he looks terrible and looks like death. And so he always prefers to wear a mask
Yeah.
when he's out and about.
Yeah. So I mean, like in terms of seeing the first one, that doesn't really. You could watch this film without having seen the first one.
Films on Netflix, so
Well,
it's,
yeah, but
So
but I'm just saying, like, if if you stood in the cinema and you're thinking, should I go and watch this film? I haven't seen the first one.
So a group of mates together, but you haven't seen the first one, and you're like,
It doesn't really matter, does it? It's like a self-contained narrative, pretty much.
Yeah, you pick up all the emotional beats like very very quickly.
And it sort of explains his superpower in this film as much as it does in the last one as well.
Yeah.
So I think you could. You could. Like, So I think there's that. Like so basically with this film, like, I struggled with Deadpool 1 because it was massively hyped by the people I interact with on a day-to-day basis, which is 16 to 19-year-olds in a professional capacity as a teacher. Just stipulate that. But they were very excited about this film, and I suppose that kind of makes sense because it's like you say, pop culture. It's a 15, so it's got that sort of naughty appeal for teenagers. So they were really excited about the first one, going mental for it. I went to watch it. I was like, it's okay, but I wasn't blown away. And I do wonder whether that's because my expectations of it was built up by the students that I was working with at that point. So so that's one thing. So going into this film, I wasn't, again, my expectations this time were lower because I didn't think the first one was the best thing ever. So I was kind of like, and I feel like over the last month or so, we've done a lot of superhero stuff. Kind of feel like I'm a bit saturated at the moment with superhero stuff. But, and so, I went into this film thinking, I can't be bothered with it. I just haven't got the energy for it. And I suppose what's good about it, like you say, is that you don't really need the energy for this film. So in a sense, it kind of worked for me because I didn't have to think about it. So and my expectations were pretty low. So coming out of it, I quite enjoyed it. In a way that I didn't think I would because of all of those factors.
Okay, cool. Enjoy it more or less than the first one, do you think?
Probably about the same. So my review of this probably isn't going to be the best ever that I'm going to give because I think there's not a lot going on in terms of themes. It like you say, it's very light-hearted. You can't take it seriously.
No.
Like if you tried to take it seriously, it'd just be that's not what the film is about. I don't really know what more to say other than talking about some of the fun bits.
Well, we'll see you next time, guys.
yeah. The shortest podcast ever. I thought it was fun, and I got some entertainment out of it.
Yeah.
Like the first one, am I going to see it again anytime soon? Probably not. I saw the first one when it came out at the cinema, and I've not seen it again since, and I'll probably do the same with this film.
Okay. Oh. Well, I loved the first one. I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed it. And I loved the fact that as a whole movie experience is really good. It's also really good in terms of like a background movie, because you can distract yourself away from it, and then you could go back to it, and you get like a little bit of chunk of entertainment, and you can, because it's not you no need to like watch the whole thing. No need to. So in terms of you're tidying the house and stuff like that. So I've actually rewatched this quite a few times because it's just been really beneficial.
Yeah, the
really
first
good
one.
Background movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it did really well. I went to this film trying not to have high expectations. I avoided most of the trailers, and yeah, and I thought it was. I'm just gonna put it out there straight away. I just didn't think it was as good as the first one. But I think there are some pros and cons to it. I think there are. I do have some criticisms of it, and I do have some things which.
Well, that's good because I'm struggling in that department. So, go on.
So I thought like the first film had like all the jokes were very funny, but like unconnected with the story and unconnected with like sort of like that's a joke, sort of like he's sort of like being meta, and it's sort of like we're gonna stop now for this joke, we're gonna stop now for this joke, we're gonna stop now for this joke, and it works with Deadpool because you know that character and that does it well. But the first film is very generic, and it's very generic, a very boring storyline. I think one thing that they did really well is chop it up and put it all over the place. And so within the first 10 minutes of the movie, you've seen Deadpool and you've seen him in a full fighting action thing, and then you go back to a bit of the origin story, and then you go back to the present and you see him fighting more, and so throughout the whole movie you're getting like bits of everything.
Is this the first one?
The first one.
Yeah.
Usually with an origin story, you have the first half is really slow and really boring. He's got no powers.
Yeah.
But what they've done is they mashed it up really well. I'm thinking, oh wow, you've taken a really boring concept and you've not tried to change the formula, because the formula works in the origin thing. We all hate it, but in terms of we get all the information, but they just swapped it around. So one thing that I really enjoyed about the first one was the order of stuff, and so thinking, well, how are they going to do a second one? And like, you can't just get away with that a second time. And so what I really appreciate about this one is that they had a storyline, they had a target, they had a mean to get to the end, and I know I kind of liked that. It's not the best storyline, but I thought like they could have been a lot worse. So in terms of like I like the way they developed Deadpool's character with his fiance, or probably wife at this point. There's a snippets of them in the film. I love the fact that, are we going spoilery? Are we gonna?
Yeah, I mean,
it's going to be a huge spoiler, but you should see this movie. You should see this movie.
So I mean, that's a good warning. If we just say spoilers for about 5 minutes, then hopefully anyone who doesn't want spoilers is turned off. Right. But FYI, we include spoilers in our podcast.
So the two biggest superheroes at the moment are big. The superhero characters that are big. Deadpool just come out, and Thanos. Now these two have a connection, and basically
in the same actor.
No. Cable is the same actor as Thanos, but Deadpool and Thanos in the comic books are both in love with Death. Death is a woman in the comic books. Is an actual character,
right? Okay.
And so with Deadpool, he was going to die. He had an opportunity to die in one of his first comic books, but his friends were being tortured, and him and Death were in a relationship, because every night he was on the blink of death. So every night he spent the night with Death, and so they had this really loving relationship. And then he was on the brink of death completely, and he had a choice whether to spend eternity with Death or go back and save his friends, and he chose to go back and save his friends. And I love the fact that they sort of avoided that storyline in the first one, and they avoid that storyline for Marvel's Thanos. They're not going to include Death as a character because it's just a bit weird. People will relate to it. But what they've done in this one, they've rounded off back to the origin story. His wife, who dies, spoiler alert, he's now the symbolism of death. And he's always, every time he's on the blink of death, he sees her. And as a comic book fan, I'm thinking, wow, you did it. I didn't think you could do it, because they go in a more realistic route, even though it's weird to say Deadpool is realistic. Yeah. But they went in a more realistic route. But they've included something, they blended together something mystical in it. And I was like, hands up to them. That is really well done.
Yeah.
That is very well done. What else did I like? I really liked Domino.
Yes. Yeah. She was very good.
I felt they handled her character perfectly. She's not given that much screen time.
Yeah.
But the screen that she's given is fully respected, and sort of like, and she controls everything. So when it comes to other superheroes, like sidekick heroes in superhero movies, sometimes they're like, then they need help, and sometimes they need. But in this month, she's just like fully herself, or fully like, and the superpower's like look, and it's just like, and like,
it was so well
when
done.
she says
That was quite clever. Yeah,
it's all like, how can that be a superpower?
I didn't. Like, that's the thing. Like, there's some sequences that were just really really enjoyable. So, the actress who plays Domino actually is called Zazie Beetz.
Okay, I've heard a lot of people say she's in Atlas or
Atlanta.
There we go. Yeah, but I've not seen Atlanta.
Yeah, actually, that's funny you should say that, because that, spoiler alert, was going to be one of my hidden gems for mini-sode, so I'll have to find something else.
Cool. Well, I've not seen it, so
all right. Well, maybe I will still talk about that. And there's a reason for that as well. I've got a plan, secret plan. Yeah, but I do like that whole sequence, and I like the Rob Delaney cameo from Catastrophe. Have you seen that? You haven't.
Oh yeah,
he plays Pete.
It's him. Yeah,
Pete. Yeah, he's very good.
Yeah, and it's
and then the Vanisher. Did you see the Vanisher?
Yeah. I thought the Vanisher was going to be Hugh Jackman.
Oh right.
He was in the movie the whole time. I thought so. Basically, I was trying to anticipate their joke. I knew it was a joke. And that was great about it.
You could see what was coming.
And it's sort of like, who's it gonna be?
But that whole sequence with the X-Force was really well done.
That's a clever thing about the marketing, though, because the marketing didn't give that away. They shot more clips. I'm thinking, and a lot of people I've heard are more pleasantly surprised by actually what happened, rather than disappointed that they didn't get to see what was in the trailers.
Yeah, and well, I mean, I suppose in the trailers didn't actually reveal that much.
No.
Because I that was another thing that going into this movie, I was like, I feel like I've seen the whole film in the trailers.
Yeah.
And I came out of the movie thinking like, whoa, I haven't seen anything from I'd sort of seen some basic sequences, but the trailers don't give too much away.
No.
So if you're out there and you're thinking, I've seen the trailers, like I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah.
Definitely go and see it, because the trailers don't spoil it in a way that's quite clever. Actually,
I saw the first trailer for it, and it got like loads of action sequences in there. I was thinking, I knew I should stay away from the trailers. I saw it, and I was really disappointed in myself. But then most of the footage from the first trailer is done in the first 10 minutes of the movie. I'm thinking, what else is there now? Wow, I just seen
it's quite good. I think the other trailers, there's a bit more in there in terms of Cable and.
Yeah, I've looked over the other trailers now.
He's not a Cable, he's Cabe, isn't it?
No, Cable. Yeah, you did it right.
Is it Cable?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
His name's James. Yeah, I'm just terrible.
So he's the son of. Have you seen X-Men? Yeah.
Some
I think he's the son of the redhead girl, Jean. I can't remember her name. Basically, two of the main characters in the original X-Men movie. Okay. He's a son, but in the future.
Yeah. So, another spoiler alert.
Yeah.
He comes back from the future.
So, yeah.
That was also quite well done.
What I liked about the Cable character, and really well done to them, that he was never telling any jokes. He never became a comical character within this world, and I sort of enjoyed that.
There was one bit in the taxi towards the end where I think he sort of. I remember him saying something to Deadpool that's quite funny. Something quite offensive.
One thing, with the first one, I can remember every single joke in the first one, every single one. With this one, because the jokes were weaving into the script, I just felt like it was just a lot smoother in terms of the way the jokes were. Yeah. So the jokes weren't as funny, but it flowed you into the story a lot more. Yeah. So it's sort of Deadpool 1 is a lot more funny, but Deadpool 2, the humour fits with the script a lot more. And so Deadpool was saying loads of jokes within a conversation, which is leading to another conversation. So when he's talking to Domino, when they're on a mission, he's having a conversation, and the conversation and jokes in the conversation and matching with what's happening on screen was just a beautiful like blend.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. There's one character which I kept out of the trailers. Spoiler alert: Juggernaut, which I was a little bit disappointed with.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I think I was just glad that it wasn't Vinnie Jones again.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I just felt like I don't know. I just felt like you either should have tried harder or tried less harder with that character. I just felt like it was sort of like.
I didn't enjoy his demise. I thought that was just a bit basic.
Yeah.
No, spoiler alert.
Yeah. Yeah.
In terms of the fact that he doesn't succeed in his little mission, but
I thought you were about to like come up with another way of saying demise. It's like he doesn't succeed in living anymore.
No, although I sort of think there was a hint to him still being.
Yeah, he got out. He started to get out at the end. So, it's
a downfall. Maybe that's a better way.
In terms of like the kid character.
Yeah, Russell.
Yeah, I'm sort of like
played by Julian Dennison.
Yeah, I'm so glad he's got a big role. I'm so glad.
Oh really? What have you seen him in before?
Hunt for the Wilder People.
I've not seen that film, but I recognise the face now. That makes so much.
I think I've seen him one more thing, and so yeah, I'm just glad that he's got a role for himself.
Cool.
And like they do a joke about hiding stuff in prison, and it's sort of like it just the fact that they have a whole scene referencing this joke. You know, when he gets a pen. He has a pen in. Yeah. Referencing this joke, and then every other time they just show his face, and you know what he's doing, and you know what he's like, and so I don't know, I kind of like that. That was sort of like an inside joke that kept on happening, but it just felt like an inside joke with the audience in the film. I was thinking, cool. You're not doing this big thing again. You're just doing a little reference to it. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. I think it's like, I mean, there's so many little fun parts of the movie, just like the stuff like we stayed till the end to see if there was a post after the music credits come up, post credits Samuel type epilogue, and you think something's coming, and something does come, which is well worth waiting for. And
because you're looking out for it.
And it's really good. Like it's quite subtle because you could like miss it, but it's that's really well done. And the post credit stuff before that, which was quite self-deprecating, is that the right phrase?
I think so. Yeah.
So that was, I thought that was really good as well. It was just fun. It's just like able to take the sort of piss out of itself and other, even though I like comic book stuff.
I'm like, is this canon now? Do we go into the third one with? Is this the new world he's created? And I'm like, I know I shouldn't think like that. I know they probably think it's just a joke. But
well, I've heard. I don't know who I heard this from. It's probably students. That he. Oh no, it might be you actually. He was saying that Ryan Reynolds is saying he might do a third.
Well, someone said like, what's going to be the third one? He said, well, we might actually just end it here. And I thought it was really interesting the way he said that a couple of times.
Yeah.
And so when it did get to a point in the movie, a part of me is thinking, no, they aren't going to do this. They aren't going to do this. It just feels like wrong for them to do this. But then I thought
but right at the same time.
Yeah, I mean the team behind Deadpool they would have the balls to do it. If they wanted to do it, they would have the balls to do it. I mean, I don't know. It's it was interesting. I felt like some jokes just don't hit at all, and you just need to swallow them and just get over it and move on, which is a bit of a shame.
Can you think of any examples? Yeah,
there's one near the end, a big dramatic scene, and it really plays on you thinking that. It just goes on and on and on, and on paper, but it's really funny.
But it's also part of the joke as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and I just felt like a minute less might have been I don't know how long.
I did. I
felt
just
like
think
5
it
minutes.
didn't quite land.
Nah.
I remember. I think what did land, is the subtle X-Men joke.
Oh yeah.
But that's what I mean about it being self-deprecating.
Yeah.
I really hope that's the right word or phrase. Where, like the whole thing in first Deadpool, everybody's like, "Where are the good X-Men?"
Yeah,
and
no budget for
yeah,
them.
because there was no budget, and then they sort of turned that on its head quite well. I thought that was great.
And I also loved the meaning of it. It's sort of like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's sort of like yeah. Spoiler alert: you do actually see some X-Men in this movie, and they're sort of hiding away. They don't really want to be involved with Deadpool. And it's sort of like, if I was part of the X-Men, I really wouldn't want to be involved in it either. It's like, yeah, we're gonna close this door. We're gonna make sure that he doesn't see us.
Yeah, that was a good little moment. Yeah, so I think there's lots of little moments to enjoy in this film.
And even though it isn't really, shouldn't really have a character whatsoever, mega teenage, something, mega teenage nuclear warhead or something. There's a character in there from the first one.
Yeah.
She has a girlfriend in this one.
Yeah.
And it's just so nice and sweet. And we all know one of the people. We all know someone in our lives which is just so nice and sweet. You can't say anything bad towards them. Deadpool's this character that likes to take the piss out of everybody. But he's just really nice. He's like, "See you, Deadpool," and he's like, "We'll see you later." Right? And I just felt like that was kind of nice. And I didn't feel like, so even though it was repetitive, I didn't feel like repetitive. I was like, "Oh, that's cool again. Oh, that's nice again."
Cool. Do you know much about the director of this film?
No, I don't. Do you?
only what I've read on IMDb, which is quite interesting.
Okay.
So it's David Leitch.
Okay. Cool.
He did Atomic Blonde. Have you seen that?
Cool. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
He also directed some scenes from John Wick.
Cool. Yeah, nice.
But according to IMDb, he is a multi-talented guy. He's an actor, stuntman, writer, producer, stunt coordinator, and film director.
Damn.
That's
if
a
only
pretty
he's a
good
caterer,
title.
he'll be a perfect gentleman. Like people like, not enough.
That's a one-man band for a film.
Yeah. I think
I'll do the food and the stunts and
everything.
direct and star.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
Like seriously, like when you hear those sorts of things, you're like,
wow,
that's unfair. How can somebody be that talented at so many different
well,
things? I suppose he probably. I think if you look down the list of stunts, he's been going as a stunt person for a while.
Yeah.
And has obviously managed to get into the more directing side.
And someone says, well, if he's a stunt person and he can act, why did he act the role as well? And then he's acting roles, and then I could see him slowly but surely gaining more control.
But again, like the film, it is really well directed. I know some people would, it's not Academy. They even make a joke about that in the film, don't they? But it for the medium, it is pretty slick in terms of the direction.
Yeah, say the first one, I felt like it was a pretty boring concept, but the way they put it together was really creative. And this one, I just thought was a nice story. I thought it was strong, just very sturdy. And it's hard to. It's not amazing, but it's hard to pick holes in.
Yeah, and it moves so fast, doesn't it? As well, it moves through the paces, and it's not too fast that you can't keep up. I know it does whiz through stuff in the first sort of 10 minutes, like you say, but it's quite easy to keep up because Deadpool's narrating you through it, and then from there, the beat of the film is quite simple because it's scene to scene to. And then the goal is introduced, and then we see that attempt, and I think it's got a good flow to it. Like you say, the jokes don't feel stunted; they feel like a part of it,
weaving into the script. It's
there's some good like little jokes about Bowie or Bowie. Is it Bowie or Bowie?
Yeah. I can't remember that joke. I remember the punch. I remember laughing at it. But I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, well, it's got the guy from Silicon Valley, isn't it?
I
Yeah,
remember
it's the
that.
barman. Yeah, he's
T.J.
really funny.
Miller.
Yeah,
I just felt like he was. I just felt
is
like
he in the first one?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I just felt like I think he enjoys his role. I think it's. I think. I thought it was great. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed it. He wasn't oversaturated in the film. They just have him a little bit. I love the cab driver Abdu. I think his name is.
Yeah, I didn't write his name down because I didn't want
Yeah.
to. I didn't really know what.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was
yeah,
good actually.
yeah.
To be fair.
Yeah, he was. He was in the first one, and it's like he's only in it like twice in the first one, and people liked him. I kind of like the way they sort of
Gave him a more prominent.
yeah, but like a lot of it's in the background. So a lot of his jokes are just right in the background, and one joke you don't even realize is coming up, and like it's just him reacting to something, and that's when the whole audience didn't laugh that much in the screening. I know everybody enjoyed themselves, but I know in the first film, loads of people laughing, but the whole audience wasn't laughing that much in our screening. But I know with he's got a laugh which makes everybody laugh. It's during the auditions,
Yeah.
I laughed out loud.
Yeah, that was. I thought the audience were laughing a bit. There's also some more subtle jokes with him where like Deadpool's just like stroking him.
Yeah,
it's done really well. Although one of the because there's obviously loads of intertextual references in there, and one of my favourites was the "Take on Me" reference, and I was like loving it, and I just don't think anybody else in the cinema like caught on to it.
See, I want to watch it again because I'm sure I missed some stuff. I think I might have missed that.
So it's basically it. I'm going to spoil it because it's quite subtle, but towards the end, the final bit where he goes to see his wife in limbo or heaven or whatever it is that it is, when he's on the brink of death, and they sort of reach through a barrier, and like pull each other through. In the background, like there's an acoustic version of "Take on Me." And the whole pulling somebody through. It's like the music video. So it's quite a clever little
original, not A1 remake in the 90s.
Yes, yeah.
We should point out.
So that was like I was like, loving that, but I think not many people in the cinema screen caught on to that, so I had to sort of.
Oh, I love there's a spoiler again. It's like I say spoilers because these are like big jokes and like. Yeah. So spoiler. In the first one, he said he's hidden the cure to blindness, in the house. He goes, oh yeah, there's like 20 bags of cocaine and the cure to blindness in the house if you could find it.
Oh right.
And in this one, he goes into the compartment and gets the cocaine, and next to it there's a cure to blindness. And that was kind of like a nice sort of like, oh well, I'm being rewarded for how much I've taken notice of the first one, and you're not even pointing this out, and I love the fact that it respects. This is a film which you can just watch just on the whim and not really with that much concentration. But if you do concentrate, you are given nuggets of more jokes and more stuff.
That's cool. Like, I like that.
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
So I feel like the more that we're talking about it, the more I'm like,
I
enjoyed this film. Yeah, maybe I will go see it again. Okay, who are we recommending this film for?
Anyone who likes a laugh, anyone likes
a laugh.
Yeah, a laugh.
Lads.
Hardcore. Yeah, I mean in terms of like action scenes. And I don't know. It's it's really hard not to like it because it's just it's quite a well. It's. At most, you're just going to think it's just okay. It's really hard to be disappointed with this film. If you just look at the poster and look at the teaser trailer, if you like them two things, then go see it. I know it's a really hard one to define. I think.
Well, it's like dirty teenage jokes mixed with superhero
but not uncomfortably dirty either. So basically I was listening to a reaction video of like a family going to see I Feel Pretty,
Right.
and they said like, oh, the sex scene in that, they got them like really uncomfortable. But in terms of this film, even though it's all silly teenage sort of like stuff, and so I think families can go in terms of like, if you've got like teenage kids, I think you can go see this with them, and you sort of like go down to their level.
Yeah, I think
when I say teenage, I mean like 15
up.
Yeah,
it's not appropriate.
But
you know, it's certainly not a 12A.
Yeah.
I mean, the target audience is obviously teenagers.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
But
This
it's not like, it's not like It's not all about sex jokes, or it's not that kind of teen movie. It's just like, you know,
you go laughing at the same time, like oh my god, I know you just did that, rather than but and it's definitely a good alternative for Friday, Saturday night. We're talking quite a lot about Sunday daytime movies. This one is a good alternative for a night out, because you could be chatting about this film afterwards quite a lot.
I think it's got that. It's got like a body vibe to it. So like we were saying, like I Feel Pretty, good date movie. This it's kind of like a good movie for a big group of you to go to, because like if you're all in the cinema and you're all laughing along, and like you know, it's not Quiet Place where you've got all like I think definitely I would agree with that. It's got that Friday, Saturday night fun. You know, also if you're a little bit tired, you want to switch off, don't want to think about anything, you know, want to forget the working week, really good escape. You work a lot, you work quite late, and then you want to go to cinema afterwards. This is a good one. Because it's not a think piece. It's not gonna like blow your mind, and you don't, like you say, you don't have to concentrate that much. On it.
Simple story, but done well.
I think it's good. But just be prepared for a lot of gore, a lot of violence, a lot of dirty jokes, like I say, a lot of.
I think that's also one of the reasons why the intro works really well. The first like 10 minutes, you sort of like you see a lot of the worst of it in the first 10 minutes, so, like in terms of the level of it. So
violence wise, definitely. I'm not sure about in terms of like the sort of like awkward jokes or the disgusting jokes. Some of those sort of come a bit later. But like you say, like a lot of the time the jokes come from something happening, but the humour, how people react to it, or how Deadpool reacts to it, is funny. So it's not the thing that happens to somebody that's funny, it's the reaction and
why
afterwards.
you said this joke rather than the joke itself. Sort of like okay, I think that might wrap it up for this week.
We need to talk about what we're going to see next week, James, before we turn off to the masses.
Is Solo, I believe.
Is it out? Definitely. Are we gonna
I'm seeing it next.
What?
1 second.
Do we know the release date?
Oh damn! Unprepared James.
Oh no. Well, should we just say Solo?
You say so. Yeah, we'll say Solo, and if it's a different thing, then
then
you know why we've messed up.
Because we're not organised enough to check.
We'll just say Solo for now.
So if it is Solo, I'll, whilst you're checking release dates, I will talk a little bit about Solo. I'm sort of looking forward to this film, and I'm sort of not. Like the first trailer, I saw it and I was like, "Ooh, this could be really good." Saw the second trailer and thought, not sure. You know, obviously, like Han Solo is a massive, iconic character, but also it's Harrison Ford, and it's very difficult to disassociate with him. But it does look. I think it'll be fun. I think again, it's probably a bit like Deadpool. It'd be difficult to sort of criticise. Oh no, is it not out in time?
Next week won't be Solo.
Do we need to delay the Solo
It could delay
review?
But it's my ignorance that will be because of it. Because it is technically in our cinemas on the Wednesday, but I sort of want to see it for the first time in the BFI IMAX, which I've got booked for the Saturday.
Right.
Sorry. It's actually quite important to me, and yeah,
James.
yeah.
Right.
So,
well, do we need to delay the film podcast? I know we aim for a Friday.
Yeah.
Do we need to delay the May?
Yeah. I think.
Okay. Well, so we can say with authority that the next film review podcast will be Han Solo,
and you'll definitely get a TV podcast next week.
But we'll just delay it slightly.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. It's my fault.
It's okay. I think they'll get over it.
All right.
Because we'll give a sterling review of Han's Solo.
Yeah. It'll be good. Go.
What are your thoughts about it, though? Just quickly before we go, James. What are you thinking about Han Solo?
I'm trying not to think about it at all. I saw I've seen a scene of it. I was in Waterloo and I got to see a virtual reality scene of it. So I got to be inside a scene.
All right.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I'm. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to keep my expectations very low.
Yeah.
Very low. I mean, I love Rogue One, and I was very disappointed with Last Jedi, and so I'm hoping I was on a high and then low, and I'm hoping to get medium. But
get the mojo back.
Yeah.
I think we were on a sort of similar par with that because Force Awakens was up there, Rogue One really up there
for me,
and then The Last Jedi not so much, which is a shame because I really like the director and there was a lot about the film that I really liked, but there was a lot that I didn't like, especially the animals. CGI, bad CGI. Somebody riding an animal. Don't do it.
Just the whole scene was just pointless. I mean, most of the film, in terms of narratively, is pointless.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're not reviewing that film, unfortunately, because if we had got to review that film, it would have been a really good episode.
Yeah.
But hopefully, Han Solo will annoy us enough that we'll have lots to rant about.
Yeah. If it is
I don't.
bad,
I don't hope that. That's not not true.
If it is bad, then I think my excitement for the Star Wars universe will be at its all-time lowest.
Oh, even like considering Phantom Menace.
Well, I was a kid when the film came out. And I loved them. Yeah. Because I was watching it through a child's mind and thinking, oh, it's pretty and colourful, and I've not seen them again. But I don't know. I just don't want to. I was so excited about Rogue One, and then it's just gone. Yeah, I don't know.
So we're at medium excitement for Han Solo. People could go either way.
Hopefully it'll just be meh. Yeah, it was alright. Yeah, it was okay. Not amazing, but that's it.
Well, yeah. Well, we'll see, because maybe we'll be blown away. I just don't think that can happen. Yeah. Really don't. Anyway, cool. Let's just. Right, should we just wrap it up?
Yeah, we'll cut off. Okay.
So cool. delayed film review for Han Solo coming up.
But there will be a TV.
Some point. So we need to say goodbye.
Goodbye for now. See you later, and listen to our TV podcast. We're going to be we're going to be talking about Lost in Space.
Yep.
You can catch us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and also you listen to this on Apple Podcast. Feel free to leave a comment, leave a like, and if you like conversation, and feel free to recommend us to a friend.
And check out old episodes as well.
Yeah, they're all there, all free.
Yeah.
All right. See you later.
Bye.